Hi all, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your own custom con avatar. And so this video will be kind of split up into three main parts. So getting everything set up first, and then we're going to retexture, and then lastly we're going to do the facial expressions with SDK 3. So this is an SDK 3.0 guide. And then a heads up, we are going to be using Photoshop for the texturing. Hopefully you can get it with your school, or if you have it already, that'd be awesome. But it just makes it easier to do the texturing. But you can use other programs like GIMP or MS Paint. So to begin, we're going to start off with all the stuff we need to import to our project. So here are the things that so first, the SDK, right? This is required for to upload avatars. You can use SDK 2, but I like SDK 3. So what I'm going to do is I just drag it and drop it in the project down here, and then I'm going to click import. To start, you are going to see all these folders here. You're going to click the second one that says low polygon. Then you're going to click this one. We're going to just do PC for today. This is the prefab file, because there's no arrow next to it. And then if you go down here, you see prefab. Make sure you're selecting the PC version and not the Quest version. I mean, you can select Quest version, but the quality won't be as high. Then I'm not going to drag it and drop into here, or else it won't be at 0, 0, but I'm going to drag it and drop it here. And you'll notice it places the model at 0, 0, which you want to make sure it's at. Okay, now we can zoom in, and you see it's pretty much ready to go. For script, I'm just going to remove for now. And then okay, that's looking good. Alright, and you can see all the dynamic bones got set up already. Which means if we go to play mode, which is you click this button here, and you wait for this to load, you'll see everything wiggles. This is default, and you can play around with these if you would like, but I'm just going to keep everything the same. And it's thinking I want to play VR. That's kind of weird. So next up we are going to be retexturing, which is kind of the second part of this tutorial. So when you download the con model, you should also there's a folder called Photoshop or PSD or something, and inside there's a Photoshop file. So if I go out here and I go to textures, I organize my projects this way. So temp would be like things I'm going to use in the texture, like images I'm going to use in the texture. Textures are the textures themselves plus the file for the texture. And then models is I basically made just like a cherry that's going to go on like a hair clip. So first of all, I'm going to find it should be called like low polygon PC, and there is a different one for PC and Quest. So I'm just going to open it up, and here I just added that real quick. But yeah, so you should have something looking like this. So I suggest first renaming it and then saving just the default texture under the right name. So here's how this thing works in Photoshop, because I was definitely confused at the start. So you'll notice you have these things here on the side, and then they have down arrows, and then there's something here. In this case, it says dress. So this is the dress, and this is called like I don't know what it's called, but it's like the base layer. So if you can alt and then left click it, and then it will basically just isolate that layer. And you'll see that this base layer is just one color there, and then above it you have stuff like this is the orange, and you can't just isolate this layer because it's like linked. It'll be like on top of this, and in this case it's just a normal color overlay, but in some cases it can be like it will make say this top one could make that portion of this darker, which is kind of doing here. So our plan for this basically is just going to be a simple color retexture, and then we're also going to add a decal to the front of the dress. And yes, I'll make the hair brown too. I kind of feel like it should have brown hair. So I'll go through the parts. Well, yeah, so you can see there's the different sections. You got dress, hair, eyelash, and we're going to go through all of these. So I normally start with the dress, and then I move on to hair, which is up here. Ears are these guys. Face, eyes, eyebrows. These are for when it does starry eye. This is the tail down here. The bow is here. And then these are the legs and socks. Okay, so basically I'd say the first step is to pick your colors. So I found a nice red and then a pinkish, which I'm going to use for the kind of highlights here. So I think that's going to give me a cool look. Haven't tried it out yet. It normally takes a little back and forth, but I'm going to go ahead and start with the dress. So the first step is to always edit the base, which is this bottom one. So what I like to do is alt-click it so I can kind of see where I'm painting. And then I'm just going to make sure it's like selected here. And then I'm going to go to the paintbrush tool. I'm going to make it a little bigger. That looks good. And then I'm just going to paint over it. Wonderful. Okay, so you see we got somewhere. Now the dress is a different color. And also this is the line on the what do you call it? The cuff of the sleeve is also going to be red. Now, instead of having this be orange for like a fiery look, I want it to be the lighter pinkish orange color. So I could just alt-click it, and then I know I'm painting there. And same thing here. You want to make sure it's selected, and then paint it there. And alt-click again. Sometimes the shadows here, I'm pretty sure this is set to darken, so it should look good. But it is like a teal color, so you might want to adjust that if it's not looking great, but it's looking great here for the shadows. Let's see. Next up, I'm gonna move on to the hair. Yes, so dress and then hair. Okay, so again, you have highlights here. That's the base, and this is the highlights. So I'm gonna start on the base. Isolate. Sorry, I'm going to go back to the original color. Yep. This is what I want. So I'm going to paint. Sorry. My bad. This one is the... I know what I did. My bad. So this is actually going to be highlights. So I'm going to start with highlighting these. There we go. And what is this? We're not going to do that. Oh, I'm sorry. I really messed up. Wow, okay. Yeah, I guess I just didn't see that. Sorry. This is the highlights, and this is the base. My bad. I don't know. I thought that was the... Okay, yeah. Anyway, this is the base. So I'm going to alt-click this, and then go ahead with the dark color. And these are the eyebrows. I want to make sure those are painted too, and then I'm also going to get the ears while I'm at it. But the ears do take one other step. Okay. Alright, there we go. Now it's looking how we want it. Eyelash. I actually think they're looking good already as red. But sometimes you could change like the color brown there and stuff. But I like how that's looking. Eyes I do last. This, let me just check. Yeah, so this one, what I normally do is I'm going to go for the socks. See, I'm going to go for socks because I want them to be... Okay, let's make this stuff green. Let me just add this to a swash so I can save it. I'm going to go find a green color. I think I saved one actually. No, okay. Let's find a nice green. That's a nice green. So I'm going to go, this is white mouth, white comma mouth. And for example, I want to change the color of the sleeve cuffs. The sleeve cuffs, and then the bow, and then this, and then the socks as well. So I'm going to go here, and I'm not going to paint it all. I'm just going to paint the parts I like. So this is the bow, the sleeves. This right here, I believe is this dot is going to be the end of the sleeve, like where the hand is. So I want that to be colored as well. This is the bottom of the feet. These are the feet and socks. The socks. This is the bottom of the socks. And there we go. So that's looking really good. Where do I go next? Okay, let's get the ears done. I always have a little trouble finding the ears because they're kind of hidden. But I believe they're underbody, and I want to change. Nope, they're not underbody. They're under white mouth. I want to say I change 2 and 4, but let me just play around. And I want these to be, so this red that we painted earlier, right here, is the outer ear. This part here is the inner ear. And these are the ear fluffs. And you can see, like in the middle, they're white. That's going to be white fluff, and then it kind of blends it on the outsides. But let's say I want the insides of my ear to be the brighter pink instead of, I don't know, like tannish color. So let me just try something. I believe that's right. So that's number 2. Okay, number 2. That seemed to work well. And then number 4. Let's make that darker maybe or something. Let's add this to a swatch just in case it doesn't work. Okay. I think this might be a look I'm going for. Yes. Almost. So okay, so then I have, you can see I painted it partly red on the 4, dark red on the 4, and light red on the 2, or the pinkish color on the 2. And then, let's see, maybe 3. No. Let me try painting bright pink. On layer 2. Is that not layer 2? Is that layer I'm losing it. I'm trying to get the inside of that ear to be light. Didn't do anything. Okay, let's go down to layer 1 and try that. No, not layer 1. Let's try white mouth. Let's go for this. Okay, that's what I wanted. So when we're doing this, make sure that's going to be the inner fluff of the ear. You can color that whatever you like. And then 2 is going to be kind of the visible part of the inside of the ear. Layer 4 is the color where you want to be like a quote-unquote shadow of the inside of the ear. And that's that. And that's looking really good. I'm going to scroll down to Starry Eye. And I want the Starry Eye to be this bright pink, so I'm just going to paint that. So next up is eyes. Let's go back up to the eyes. I passed it. Under eyelash, eye. Okay, so this is the base. So how the eyes work, and it's pretty easy, is this is going to be the very inside of the eye, and every step up is going to be like a shade out of the eye, if that makes sense. So you can see the second color is going to be stage 1, third color stage whatever that is, and then from so on it's like the brown colors in black, which I'm going to leave. Did I hate? Oh, I painted my hair red. Alright. Okay, we'll just leave it red. Red might look cool. Okay, so yeah. I'm going to start with the base eye. Normally I like to pick my brightest color for this. So I normally do a lot of playing around with the eyes. And then my strategy is just to open this up and kind of move slightly downward on each layer. And you can paint it all, but the only part that's visible is that little ring there. So, and now this final stage. Let's make it, I guess, a little darker. Maybe a little more red. I don't think I'm gonna like this, but let's give it a shot. And then this right here is going to be like another rim. So I might bring that back up to a lighter color. Maybe it looks a little dopey now. I'm going to adjust this color to more of this-ish color, maybe. Let's go with this layer. Alright, maybe let's try that. So I'm a little picky with stuff like this. I don't want that. Alright. Okay, let's just leave it. That will look okay. And yeah, eyebrows are looking good. And last up, I'm going to add a little cherry decal. It's going to be on the front of the dress. And so this is the front side. You can kind of see the shadow of the bow. And then this is the back of the dress. And there's a seam down the middle and the back. So I'm going to place, embed, temp, and this is my cherry model. So I'm going to first make sure it's on the very top layer, or at least above all the stuffs. And I'm just going, this does require quite a bit of playing around, but I know that's the bow, and I want it kind of at the front, but not too close. So I'm going to scale it down. Let's make it a little smaller. Maybe there. A little further out. Okay. Looking like a good texture to me, so I'm going to file, save. And then file. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to change my image settings, because I do notice that this is the thing about using the same material in the dress is the dress might look a little textured, like how do you say it? A little pixelated if you put an image on it, because it's such a small part of the texture. Image size. So right now it's at 1024. I'm going to double that. So 2048. So that's like 2K resolution. And wow, it just got real slow. But there, that might be better. Okay. File, export as PNG. And I'm just going to do cherrycon texture. I'm just going to replace this. And the other texture you saw was just for the hair clip. So well done. Now we are going to, I'm going to make a textures folder. And I'm going to drag and drop both of those into the folder, because that's all we need for the modifications. And then I guess I'm going to also make a models folder. And this is just some cherries I made in Blender, but you can find stuff off like Sketchfab or CD Trader, and there's some free stuff on there. Not a great collection, but yeah. Now I'm going to go into the model, or sorry, LPK. Where is it? Low poly. Oh, we're in the folder. Yeah, go into the low polygon folder, then go to materials. And how material works is this kind of determines the lighting. So you'll see there's going to be like rim lighting on it, and it's got this very toon look. Whereas if we were to use like a standard shader and you apply it by dragging it on, it would look very, just very bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this material, the one that's PC, because it will look better. And then I'm going to take this texture, and then I'm just going to click this little dot next to it to bring up this menu. And then I'm going to search the name of the texture. In this case, it's CherryCon right here. So now I click that, and I can take a look at it. And voila! It's looking pretty good. There are some changes I want to make. For example, this did not get painted for some reason, and the cherries look pretty well placed. And then I also forgot to paint the orange down here. I think the hair looks okay though with the red. And eyes look... I'm going to change up the eyes a little bit. Besides that, it's looking good. So normally I take quite a few revisions here. Wow, I don't know why it's so slow. Honestly, it's never done this before. I'm going to add a rectangle over here just because I normally have a hard time finding where it's located. Actually, it's right there. Okay, let me try this. Okay, let's paint that red. Oh, cool, easy. It's the number 1. And the eyes I want to change up a little bit. Maybe make that a little, just a little brighter. I don't like the second ring here. Oh, I accidentally forgot to unlink it. I must have accidentally unlinked these, but should be okay. Oh, that's the wrong one. Alright, there we go. That's looking better in my books. And then, right here. This is the hand part of the con. I think that was the last thing I said. And let's find out where that is. Okay, white mouth. So I did paint it, but it seems like one of these layers overlaid it. So I'm just gonna go, I think it's this one right here. Let me try layer 2. Changing that to our green. And there we go, it's looking good. And it's got shaded automatically, which is nice. Alright. All good in my books. I'm gonna file, save, file, export. Quick export as PNG. I could save it and overwrite the file already in there, but I'm just gonna do V2 so I can kind of see the changes. I'm gonna go back to our textures. And I'm going to drag the texture V2 And back to materials, I'm gonna select version 2. And you'll see we got the hands color now, we got the ring down there fixed, and then the eyes are looking better in my opinion. Alright, now we can go through some of these shader settings to make it look fine, oh fine. Base map looks good. Let's go with, for something like this, I like to add rim lighting. And right now, let's increase the power. And let's do inside mask. Let's bring that down. And then there's highlight color. Let's see what this is. Let's just leave that. It's off right anyway. But if you want to do something like this, actually that might be good. Let's make it. Okay, so you see you got a little highlight color there. If you want it. Sure. Rim lighting, let's make that. I'm going to go copy the same code we used for our pink swash. And then let's keep it consistent. So enter it in there. Alright. Looking good to me. I could also maybe go for a green there, but I'm gonna hold off. I kind of like the red. Also, I'm gonna make this texture change. I want that to be the same color as this green, so I'm gonna go back to Photoshop. And this is just stuff you notice kind of as you work. But it's not too bad. So I'm just gonna paint bucket it. Make sure the image is selected first. Hopefully I didn't paint bucket anything else. Paint bucket anything else important, that is. That's the name of it. Let's get a warning. Yes. There. Okay. Export again. V3. I'm going to drag in V3. Get rid of these two. Delete them. And then reselect this texture. Okay, now everything's looking a little more clean. Okay, wow, looking great. I love it, and I actually really like this highlight color. I think it looks really nice. So that's good. I'm just gonna do a couple more things. Make sure the bottom of the socks are painted. Yep. And there's other settings you can play here. Okay, outline settings. It's currently brownish. Like this is, you can change it to whatever color you want. So if you want like a green, you can see it's like on the face there, but I like to keep this dark. And I'm gonna go from brown to black. Or let's try copying this brown on the dress. So I'm gonna click this button to swash. And so that maybe matches. Alright, let's do that. I honestly don't notice a single difference, but whatever. Now, what am I gonna do? Awesome, I really like it. Now I'm gonna add that model I had, which is, let's see, models. I'm gonna drag this in the top left, and this could be anything that you have. I'm also gonna scale down my con, because default 1 is actually, in my opinion, it's like not normal con size. I think about 0.5 would be probably what most cons are. I use this for all my cons, just because that's what I did the first time. Except for maybe element con, that's half of this, 0.25. Alright, that's looking good. Much cuter. Hehe. And then let me duplicate. I'm not going to use the standard one. I like the settings for this. I want it to be same kind of look on the cherry. So I'm going to duplicate it, rename cherry. And I don't want emissive. And I don't want outlines. Oh, yeah, I don't want, basically this was, what it did was it wouldn't add the rim lighting to the eyes and stuff. It's like a filter. Okay. Welcome back. Since last time, the only thing that's changed has been the fact that I fixed up the lighting here, and I did that by changing the rim outline. It was too bright. Or sorry, it was too dark. So the cherry color wasn't showing up very nicely. I think there's one thing missing. I'm just going to add some glasses to it because I love glasses. And so I'm just going to go ahead and drag in. This is just some glasses from my website you can download for free. Or you could add a follower to it or something. The thing about these, they're pretty easy to apply. In the case of glasses, I'm just going to go to items. And there's a tutorial on how to do this. And it's sized for a big con. Alright, I think that's looking very cute. So now I'm ready to set up the avatar for SDK3. So if this was if I was to use SDK2, this would be pretty much ready to go. But this is SDK3 because you have much more possibilities in the future. Before I do that though, I want both of these to follow the head. Whenever I move, whenever the head moves, I want these to follow with the head. So I'm going to go to armature, hip, spine, chest, neck, head, and just drag and drop both of these under there. Looks the exact same, but now they'll follow the head. They won't just float off into space. So next, I'm going to go to VRChat, examples. Let me see, I totally forget. Blend trees. Okay, yes, we're going to go examples, animation controllers. And we're going to go to V3 hands layer. Control D to duplicate. And then I'm just going to drag that under assets here. And I'm going to rename it. Hand overrides. And later when I go more in depth, if you want to add animations, we make similar ones for the FX layer and the locomotion layer and the, I guess, animation layer, but I'm keeping the default animations for now. I didn't mean to make a material there. Let's do create folder and call this controllers. The exclamation point is just to keep it to the far left because I always keep my controllers there. It keeps it nice and clean. And I'll show you what to use that for in a little bit. First, let's go into here. Scroll down to the bottom. Add component. VRC. Avatar descriptor. Click that. And we're going to go through the settings. So first, view. This is where your VR headset kind of gets viewed out of. So I'm going to click edit. And I'm going to drag. Oops. Is it really high up? Oh, it's way up there. Yes. So you're going to drag this down. And you're going to position it right about there. Kind of like, so it's just touching there. Make sure it's in the middle. Yep. And And then if you want to go to the front so you can see it's about halfway between the eyes, that's good. And then when you're done, you're going to click the return. Lip sync. You are going to click Vistme blend shape for the face mesh, because in this case we're just going to select low polygon right here because this is the only body we have. So you can click the arrow and click that, or drag it in from the side, and it should automatically select all the correct ones here. Then for expressions, we're going to click customize. Oh, not that one, we're going to do that in a later video. Sorry, playable layers, you're going to click customize. And then for action in FX, my bad, gesture in FX, we are going to drag on that custom controller we had earlier. And this will allow us to get our animations working with SDK3. Wonderful. And for now we're just using the same one in both because we don't have any like emotes when we hold down the triggers. I'll teach you that in a later video. Alright, now we go back to, now we're going to click this once, go to animator at the top, and voila, you'll see we have all of our stuffs here. So we're going to go to layers, and you'll see we have right hand and left hand layers. And what this is it will basically run this whenever, I guess, these things are clicked. So right now we have it as proxy hand fixed, proxy hands open, which is just default VRChat stuff. But we're going to go ahead and replace this with the animations that are given to us under our con. So if we go to low polygon, animation, you'll see a bunch of these. So first up, fist. I normally like fist to be angry, so I'm just going to click fist once, drag this on here. Then same with right hand. Whatever you do on one hand, you want to repeat on the other hand. So open. Let's go default. Let's default sit, sorry. Kind smile. Yes, open, let's do kind smile. And this is just, you can replace it with anything you want. Let's see. I think thumbs up I like to have as, and you, if you want to preview whatever your animation will look like, you can drag this down here. Oh, I like that a lot. Alright, and we're done. Let me just double check. I want to make sure we got everything. So this is looking good, blah, blah, blah. Awesome. So now, if we click this, and we can test it out by dragging on our controller, then our hand controller on the avatar, and you'll see it sits down. And if we go to animator and parameters, if we change gesture left to say 1, so it should be angry now. Yep, looking good. And open hand, kind smile there. And let's go sleep, which would be 7. There you go. So it's all looking good. Alright, make sure there's no controller on now. And VRChat, show control panel. I'm going to sign in. Builder. You always get these 2 errors. Always. I don't, just how it works. So you're going to click autofix and autofix. Voila. Now I'm going to build and publish for Windows. Right. I should file, well, it's already gone. save your project before uploading. Okay, it'll prompt me. So make sure you save it in the assets folder. I'm just going to call it CherryCon. And it should bring you to a step here. Alright, so name your avatar. I'm going to keep it private until I put up the QR code on the back. And you can write description. And then if you want to change the camera, what should I do? I'm going to go to scene. And I'm going to bring it up. And this is just the VRC cam. And I'm going to rotate it. And bring it over here. I don't know. I don't like any of the gray in it. So I might just zoom in on the face big time. Maybe. And just for now. But, you know, you can pose it and put a background. I'll do a separate video on, yeah, I guess making thumbnails, because it's the whole thing. Go back to game. And upload image. Upload. And now once this is uploaded, you'll see it's all good.